Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nelo and you're watching Nelo Stitches. Today we'll be making a fully lined pencil skirt with a butt lift for a proper fitting, and it's neatly finished on the inside and the outside. The band area is going to have a hook. So we have so many ways of making this. I'll be showing you one of the methods I used to neatly finish my skirt. If this is what you're interested in, please keep watching, and if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by, and I wish you don't stay by clicking on the subscribe button below and subscribe. And if you're returning subscribers, oh, thank you so much for always coming back. I love you guys. Thanks for all your support. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit on this like button below and like. Without further ado, let's get to the main video. So guys, this is the fabric I'll be using for this tutorial, and here is the pattern I drafted previously on the channel. I will leave the link below. So this is the back panel. It has a bum lift. This part is the center back where I kind of give the butt a lift, and this is the front panel of the skirt. Okay, so now I'll be cutting out the band first of all. So this is the front panel. I'm cutting out the band so that I can close the band dart, because obviously you're not going to be sewing your skirt with your band with the dart allowance on it. Okay, so this is the front panel. I'm just drawing an arrow to show that that is the center front. I'll do the same to the center back band to indicate that this is the center back. Okay, so I'll also cut out the back panel band. Having done that, I'm going to use a masking tape to close the band, the dart. Okay, so I'm closing the back dart so that when you sew your skirt dart, the band will fit in properly. So I'll use the tape now to hold it together. Okay. Okay, so guys, also indicate, draw an arrow to know where it's supposed to sit on your skirt. Okay, indicate where it's supposed to, the part that is supposed to sit on the skirt, so that you will not be confused. Maybe you place the one that is supposed to be up at the on the skirt. Okay, just mark an arrow to indicate where it's supposed to face down and the place that is supposed to face up. I forgot to do that. So after sewing my darts and you place your band, you see that it fits properly. Okay, so mark an arrow with that part that is supposed to sit on the skirt so that you will not be confused when you cut your fabric. Okay, so now my fabric is on fold. I'm going to place my pattern on it. So fold your fabric and make sure you leave like, if it's for the front, you leave like 2 inches extra. Okay, so I have excess. I'm going to refold this. I have excess. I'm going to refold this. So when you fold, you measure to be sure you have enough and at least allowance of 2 inches. As you can see, I have folded it and I have allowance of 2 inches. So to the hem, I'm going to add 3 inches extra for folding allowance. Okay, so I want to have 3 inches for my folding allowance. That is what I'm adding on the fabric right now. And to the side, I'm going to add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance, and you can use 2 inches or 1 inch, depend on your choice. So I'll just draw it straight this way here so that it will align with the pattern length side. And then on the side, I'm going to mark 1.5 inch for my sewing allowance. Okay, so I'm going to use pin to secure this part also, so that I'll have a flat surface also to work with. Okay, so right now I'll be adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance to the pattern on my fabric rather. And after that, I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so I'll just connect the point and then I'll cut this out. Okay, so this is how it's going to be at the hem, and at the top part here, make sure to add half an inch for joining of the band. Okay, as you can see, I added half inch at the waistline here for sewing of the band. Okay, so I'm notching my dart area here. Sorry, my paper is upside down, and then you mark where your dart is supposed to stop. Okay, so I notched the dart and then I marked where the dart is going to stop when I'm sewing, and I'll set this aside and then we'll cut the back panel. So here is the back panel. I did the same to the same thing I did on the front. So this is the center back, CB center back. I added 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance, and to the side I added 1.5 inch for sewing allowance, and to the hemline I also add 3 inches extra, just like we did to the front, 3 inches to the hem. Okay, and I connected all my points. So now I'm going to cut this out. Hope that is clear. I added 1.5 inch to the side, 1.5 inch to the center back for zipper allowance, 3 inches to the hemline for folding allowance. Okay, and also at the waistline I'm going to add half an inch for sewing of the band, for joining of the band to the skirt, and I'm notching my zipper allowance right now, and then I'll also notch my dart area here. And also I'm going to notch the hemline here, the zipper allowance there, even though it's not necessary, but I like doing that. Okay, and then here I'm going to mark where my darts will stop when I'm sewing. I also flip to the other side and mark. Remember that the back panel is 2 pieces. It's just the front panel that is on fold. Okay, the front panel is on fold. So here is the band. We are going to cut the band. So I want my band to be 1, so I'm just going to tape them together. I want it to be 1. I don't want to use a 2 band. I want a 1 band. So I'm going to tape this together to make it 1. Okay, so when I'm cutting, I'm going to cut on fold. Okay, so I've successfully taped my bands together, and this part is going to be the down part. Okay, the part facing me, and this is the center front. I'm going to be cutting that on fold, just like we cut our center front skirt on fold. Okay, so this part is on fold, and I'll place my band this way, following the shape of the band. Okay, make sure your band is laid following the shape of the band. Okay, so I'll add half an inch to the band upward and half an inch downward. Okay, I'll add half an inch up, half an inch down. Okay, half inch up, half inch down. And I'll connect them together and cut my band out. So I've already marked the upper part, the half inch at the upper part, and here I'm cutting out the band. To the side I added like 1.5. Is better too much than not enough. Okay, it's rather too much than not enough. Now I'm going to notch the middle here, the center, to indicate that here is my middle, the center front. Okay, and I'll open this up and then I'll mark an arrow on the fabric to indicate that this part is the down part of my band. Okay, that point will be laying on the skirt. Okay, so I'm making an arrow at the down part to indicate that that part is going to be the one to sit on the skirt. Okay, so I'm going to cut two of these. I'll just place it on top of the fabric again, and then I'll trace out exactly the same. Okay, so here is my back panel, is two pieces, as you can see. So from the hemline, I'm going to mark 3 inches. Here is for my band. So from that 3 inches point, this is the 3 inches. From that 3 inches line, I'm going to mark 5 inches upward for my slit opening, and from the waistline I'm going to mark 8 inches downward for my zipper allowance. Okay, 8 inches downward for my zipper allowance. Zipper allowance is usually 7 inches. Okay, so here I'm going to measure. I added 1.5 for zipper. I'm going to mark out that 1.5 like so, and I'm going to connect. So this is how I'm going to be sewing. I'm going to sew from here to here, from this point to this other point, and then I'll fix my zipper. Okay, this part is our slit opening, 5 inches down, and the upper one is for my zipper. So I'm going to sew here, and then I'll sew my darts for the back and the front skirt too. The front panel, I'll sew the dart and I'll fix my zipper. Okay, I'll do the same to the front panel. I'm going to sew my dart to the front on the front panel. Okay, so I'm marking an in chalk there. I'm chalking it to indicate where my dart is going to stop. So this is my skirt lining. I cut it exactly the same thing with the pattern. Okay, I added all the seam allowance. The only difference is the length. I did not add folding allowance to the pattern, but I added the zipper allowance and the side allowance. I didn't add the 3 inches extra at the hem. And here is the back panel. As you can see, our bonbon shape is coming out. The back panel is ready, and this is the front panel is also ready. So I'm going to shape my skirt. I'll place them right sides facing each other, and I will go and shape using 1 inch. I added 1.5 inch seam allowance, but I'm going to use 1 inch to shape my skirt because I don't like my skirt to be tight. I like my skirt to be free. Okay, so I use 1 inch to shape my skirt, and here I've done that. Okay, as you can see, the skirt is turning out beautifully well. So now I'm going to trim out the excess I have at the hem. Okay, don't worry, if you have any excess, just trim it out. It's not going to affect the length of your skirt or anything. Okay, it is okay. Okay, so as you can see, I have a little bit of excess here, so I'm just going to go trim it out. Okay, I'll just trim that out. And I'm going to sew my lining dart. Everything I did to the skirt, I'm going to do the same on the lining. Okay, I'll just get the lining and I'll sew the dart and I'll shape my lining. Okay, so I'm trimming out the excess I have on the skirt. So if you have any little excess, just trim it out. That is why I'm showing you everything raw. I don't want to trim it out of the camera and come and show you guys. I just wanted you guys to see everything I'm doing. Okay, so like I said before, everything I did to the skirt is what I'm going to do on the lining. So I'm going to get my lining and I'll turn the skirt with the lining. Okay, so here is my lining, guys. Please make sure you iron your lining. Don't follow my pattern. Okay, iron your lining before sewing so that after ironing, after you have sewn, it will not be bigger than your fabric. So the part you're seeing now on the ankara is the wrong side, and the part you're seeing now on the lining is the right side. So I'm going to put the lining inside the fabric, and that part of the fabric I'm putting the lining is the right side. So they are facing each other, right side to right side. Okay, the lining and the fabric is facing each other, right side to right side. So now I'm going to sew the hem. Make sure you merge the side seam together, and you're going to place your fabric right sides facing each other, and you sew around the hemline. Okay, make sure that the side seams are aligning with each other. The lining side seam and the skirt side seam align with each other. So after sewing, this is what you're going to have. As you can see, I'm done sewing my lining round the fabric. Okay, so next I'm just going to bring it out. I opened that zipper area that I sewed so that I'll be able to turn my zipper side also. Okay, so I'm just going to draw the skirt upwards towards the waist. Okay, as you can see, here is the wrong side and this is the right side of the skirt. Okay, and the lining, here is the right side. Okay, they are facing each other. You just pull it upward like this and you merge it to the waistline and you're going to sew. This is at the zipper side. Okay, you're going to sew, pull it upward like this and then you sew very close to your first zipper seam, not on the zipper seam. Okay, so I've done that. I'm going to show you guys. It's very close to the zipper. As you can see, it's very close to the first seam I made. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it out so that we can see how neat it is on the right side. Okay, so this is what we have. Is neatly concealed. So next I'm going to take the other side of the lining and also repeat the same thing I did to this other side like this. Just take it upward, right side facing each other still. Okay, like this. You just pull it up this way. Okay, and then you sew down. Now as you can see, the lining is separate and the fabric is separate. Okay, hope you can see that the lining is separate and the fabric is separate. Then you sew. So after sewing, this is what you have. So now I'm going to turn it inside out. Okay, so this is our fabric. Is neat. This is our skirt rather. Is neat on the inside and the outside. So you're just going to give your skirt a very good press. I'm going to iron this out. Okay, the zipper area is concealed neatly. The down part is also neatly concealed. So what I'm going to do next is to sew the waistline, just to hold the lining and the fabric together, so that when sewing my band is going to be easy. Okay, because if you don't do that, maybe when sewing your band, you find out that you are not catching the lining or you are not catching the main fabric or the ankara you are using. Okay, so what you need to do is to sew them together so that they will be one. Okay, so you just sew around the waist to hold the lining and the fabric together. And after that, I'm going to fix my band. So here is my band. I've already sewed the bands together. Okay, this is the band. I've already sewn the upper part with the ½ inch I added together, and I folded in ½ inch on the both side here. Okay, ½ inch. And remember, I notched and I hold this part like this and sew. And I also ironed an interfacing on the lining. So this is the middle of the skirt. I'm going to place it on the wrong side of the fabric, right side of the band, facing the wrong side of the skirt, and also at the middle, notch the midpoint of the skirt. Okay, at the center front here like this, I place right side facing the wrong side of the skirt, and I'm going to sew round. Okay, so I've sewn it round and I stopped at the zipper area, and when I get to the zipper area, I folded into two like this. Okay, you sew it around. When you get to the zipper area, you fold into two like this and stitch and close the band up. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the excess I have on the band like this, and I'll turn it to the right side this way. I'll flip it over like this. Okay, so now I'm going to top stitch on the band at the right side here, on the right side of the skirt or of the band. Right now I'm going to top stitch around the skirt, pushing the rough edge of the waistline inside like this. Okay, and then you sew round. I hope this is clear enough. Okay, so you sew around. When you get to this point too, as you can see, I folded this also and I sew. So I'm trimming out the excess I have there, and I'm going to flip over also. Okay, and then I'm going to top stitch on the band. And after that, our skirt is ready. And this is the final look of the skirt. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video so that others could get to see it. Please support the channel by liking and sharing the video. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so as to be notified each time I upload a new video. And I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.